Recently, we witnessed a woman online who a documentary was just made about this woman who had sex with over 100 men in the span of 24 hours. Sadly, and I am of the belief that in our culture, many of us are just desensitized to this type of thing. So when we hear about a woman sleeping with over 100 men, whether it be throughout her lifetime or in 24 hours, a lot of us just shrug our shoulders and go about our lives because we're just so used to hearing stories like this. And this is no cause to shame anybody, because the culture that we live in encourages this kind of behavior and this kind of sort of nonchalant attitude around this behavior. So there's no need to go and shame anyone. I mean, to some extent, I could give the women in the video a pass, a partial pass, to say that it's not entirely their fault that they embrace their whole phase, because feminism embraces the whole phase. Liberalism and what it means to be a liberal person in our society, to some extent, embraces the whole phase. So, I'm not going to let these women completely off the hook. But again, this video is not about shaming anybody, because I think that part of our culture normalizes that it's totally okay to have this phase where you are engaging in sexual activity with a variety of men until you exhaust yourself and exhaust your body and decide that you want to get married, or until you get pregnant and by somebody, or whatever happens that causes you to stop. The culture supports this type of thing. Is it really fair to shame women who do these things and who believe in the whole phase?
Why you?
No. Honest to God.
Let me tell you.
No.
This
Honest
girl,
to God.
listen. Fuck the bodies. Okay, everybody got bodies. We all got bodies. We always change your mind, ladies. You ain't got to stick with that motherfucker.
Subconsciously,
you got options, baby. Don't settle.
Subconsciously,
don't let them think you got to settle.
Subconsciously, you see every other guy, especially if you're a woman, because all of those bodies carry with you into the next relationship. This is why women traditionally was held
Go
back
get baptized.
by their fathers.
You ain't got to worry about it.
In order to preserve themselves,
Stage yourself.
So that they can actually be for their husband.
Go get baptized, and then the body's gonna be gone. I promise you. You ain't gotta worry about it no more. Don't let them trick you into that bullshit.
But I mean,
they carry you with you. I don't remember half the niggas I fucked. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot about them. They gone. I don't remember. They out of here. I'm being honest. I don't remember. They pop up today. I'm like, oh shit.
I definitely got a couple
up,
unmemorables. I have a couple unmemorables
you
myself.
since 2012.
Some of y'all want to say, y'all would be a wife and y'all be the best wife ever if y'all had the time, and y'all would be a mother and be the best mother ever if you could just be a stay-at-home mom or a housewife. But you're none of those things in your relationship. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're selfish in your relationships, you're selfish in your friendships, you're selfish in your family situations, but somehow, and you deserve all of this stuff because life owes you. But life doesn't owe anything to the man you want it from.
I'm going to put this video of Anika Okafor out front, also with the woman that was on Anton Daniels' video. The chick talked about she had so many bodies that she can't even remember. And she thought that once she got to a certain stage, she would cleanse herself. And she didn't marry her baby's father. is because she's a baddie and there's always another man, and there's always a man that wants a bad chick like her. And how this whole quasi-intersectional feminist framework supports it. And then you look at the marriage rates. I mean, the white marriage rates aren't great. They're half of what they used to be. And the black marriage rates are obliterated compared to what they were. I was listening to, I don't even know why I listened to him, but I think it was LaPeace. And they were arguing back and forth about why marriage is not popular in the black community anymore. Why the black marriage rate is so bad now. And the simple thing is, the reason it's bad, it had gotten bad. You know, I think the boomers were the last of the group that held on to such semblance of what marriage was. And that got obliterated. The crack era, and then the 90s, and then the Heaux phase, and rap and hip hop just obliterated what was left of what was a semblance of what marriage was. And now it's gotten to the point where women do not care what men want, period. And I think that's the elephant in the room. I really do. I think that is the elephant in the room that nobody wants to admit to. Because women, and especially black women, blame it on the men. That there's not qualified men, or men that they want, or men that they want to sacrifice themselves for, because marriage is a sacrifice, right? And they're so vested in what they get out of it. What do I get out of it? What do women get out of it? And not what they give back. Because when you ask what do they bring to the table, or what do they give back, even a 300-pound woman, she says, I can cook sometimes and I am nurturing. What she deserves is kick-ass MVP, 6 figures and above, 6-foot dude that's perfect. And she's 300 pounds and a 4. And she talks about she gives up nurturing. And I have sex. And she deserves all these fancy dates to get to know a person. All this stuff about marriage rates and single family homes and all this kind of stuff all comes down to not what men want, is what they want. And what they're trying to force you into under the law or the laws that we are under. That's like a man. It's not about even the environment. It's not even about the women. It's about them taking advantage of the laws that we're under and putting you in a bag. You can't hit them. You can't touch them. It costs you a whole bunch of money to get out of a divorce and a marriage and child support and all that kind of stuff. And they know that. And they leverage that against you to get what they want, because they don't care what you want. Like Okafor, she was talking about a whole phase and how women wanted to experience a whole bunch of different guys, have a high body count, exhaust themselves, and then try to give what's left of them to you. They show up with a used car on the lot with nothing and a high price tag and try to make believe that she's giving you a deal. Now, the reason she went through all those guys, she didn't go through all those guys for free. They're giving something, either a sexual experience that they wanted, or expensive dates, or a certain lifestyle that they were going through, which is fine. Okay, you did that. But don't come to me like you are a clean slated virgin with no baggage and no bodies behind you. Those bodies don't go away. I don't know why women think that those bodies don't go away. I've been with high body count chicks. Those bodies do not go away. If you learn nothing else from this talk, when a chick tells you that they had a lot of guys or had baby fathers and like that, I'm going to tell you that that doesn't count. That's the past. The past is never dead and buried. In fact, it's never even past, especially with a woman. Especially with a woman. Every experience she has, trust and believe she remembers that. And trust and believe she's weighing you against every other guy that she's had. And if you are going to be a high body count chick, she's got to come with something that she can give you. A pimp will tell you he'll take a hoe because a hoe is paying him. She's coming with something. She got to come with a break fee. Okay, she got to break herself first. If you got a high body count chick, I don't care how pretty she is, she's got to come with something. You got to be able to get something out of that relationship. Got to get something. There's got to be something in it for you. A rich guy with 8, 9, or 10, he knows what he's getting. He's getting 8, 9, or 10. He knows he's not getting love, but he's getting status from her. She gives him status. If I'm a billionaire, I can't show up with a 4. I got to show up with a dime. If I'm a billionaire, I can't show up with a beat up Ford. I got to show up with a Bugatti. I got to show up with a Rolls. I got to show up with a Bentley. I do. Because it's a status, just like a uniform. Don't get it twisted. There's a video I'm probably going to do about Sadia Khan that Pimp Guy did. I'm going to try to see if I can find the original piece rather than his commentary. I showed a little bit of it on my AMA because I wanted to demonstrate what the game is about. But I'm getting tired of this selling and celebrating of a Heaux phase. And then they talk about it, not to sell it to themselves, they're trying to sell it to you. They're trying to get you to be okay with it because they don't care what you want. They don't care what you want. They are learning game. They're learning how to sell their used up self to you and have you sacrificed everything you have for a used car. Not a new car, not one off the lot. She could have given it to you off the lot and stayed with you. In fact, those chicks that were on that panel were mocking Anton for getting married as a virgin and staying with his wife, who's also a virgin, for 22 years and raising a kid and being successful. They were mocking him. You know, you should have had a whole bunch of chicks. You should have had a whole bunch of side chicks. You should have cheated on your wife. This is the culture that they're selling. And they try to look at us like we did something. Black men are not selling this stuff. Black men are not selling that you should run through hoes. I mean, that's always been black man's nature, or men's nature, period. White men do it way more than we do. And then they try to mock us for getting on a plane and saying that, well, we're just going to go over there and take advantage of a cheaper group of hoes. That's what they're mad about. They think we're going to go someplace else and turn chicks over there into what they are. The disease that they gave us, they think we're going to go someplace else and spread, instead of staying in this rigged game we called Black America. It's rigged, and the whole culture enforces that. The white man, the white woman, and the black one all enforce these messed up, imbalanced cultural norms on black men. And when black men decided that we're going to go do something different, now everybody gets upset because you're ruining the whole game. You ruin the whole game that they set up to keep you down and to keep you subservient. They're pissed that 54% of black men are not married and don't have kids. They're pissed when they look at that stat. They're pissed that black men have higher marriage rates, and not only higher marriage rate, but a higher number of marriages than black women who are 2 million more. And you see them crashing out in their cars about dates, crashing out their cars about not being married, crashing out their cars that single men won't marry baby mamas. Just like that chick said, right? What did she say? She said, y'all need to get over that. Just because you were hurt in high school because a chick didn't pick you and she made horrible decisions by dating drug dealers and running around having babies by them, you need to get over it. You need to suck it up and accept us. Like the manosphere used to say way back then, MGTOWs used to say back then, man up and marry these sluts. Really, that's what they're saying when they go through whole phase. Man up and make these hoes honest by making them wives. And basically that, that's why my guilty pleasure is reading and listening to cheating stories, and think that taste for hold'em and cheating is going to go away. It never does. The taste never goes away. It never does. Don't ask me how I know. That's why I've said that most, if not all, women cheat. And if you're going to be with a woman and married to a woman, should accept that. But the thing is, you should make sure that she knows that getting caught by you is disrespect. You can't do anything about her cheating, but you can do something about her disrespecting you. And I've left women because of disrespect. I've been around women that cheat. I've turned down women that cheat, that want to cheat on their husbands. I've been offered sex from married women. So I know how the game is played. I didn't accept it. I've been lied to by married women because they wanted to be in a relationship. I know how the game is played. I know that woman that you think is faithful to you and loyal to you is not. That's why that's why I'm gonna do that piece on Saudi Khan. You think that just because you're successful and you're rich and you give her a lifestyle, she's gonna be loyal and faithful to you. Furthest thing from the truth. Furthest thing from the truth. Just like that guy has a side chick and an escort and stuff like that, he knows that his wife is doing something on the side behind his back, but she's there to represent a certain lifestyle. But I'm getting kind of far afield from where I was. This is what they're selling. This is the decayed lifestyle that they're selling you. And they wonder why marriages and relationships do not last. It's like selling a defective house. And the first time a storm comes up, the house is going to get torn apart because it wasn't built right. These marriages are not built right. These relationships are not built right. They're not offering you anything. They're not offering you loyalty, fidelity, or anything like that. And they don't even want to go 50-50 or 50-50 with you in a relationship, okay? They want you to pay for everything, just like it was a traditional marriage. Their mamas didn't train them to be wives. Their mamas trained them to be partners, or not even partners. They trained them to be boss bees, trained them to be boss babes. And they trying to treat you like an employee that you're supposed to pay them. Instead of the other way around. They show up and demand something. In fact, I'm going to put in LAR's video because he said the same thing. You're supposed to pay them. They're supposed to show up and get stuff. Is because that I'm me. And you owe me something because I'm me. From the fat girls all the way up to the pretty girls. You're supposed to show up and give me something because I'm me. And they have to brainwash you into thinking that way. And I'm getting tired of guys repeating that crap. What can I do to change them? What can I do to convince them? What can I do to make them think a different way? It's not your job to do any of that stuff. Not your job to convince them to do anything. Your job is to give them an opportunity for a certain kind of relationship. If they don't want to take it, that's not what they want. You need to move on and find a woman that wants what you're giving. You are not their father. You didn't raise that girl from a baby. I have 2 daughters. I'm responsible for what they think because I raised them from a baby. So if they come to me, a lot of stuff that's in them, I'm responsible for it because I'm their father. You are not their father. You're not responsible for changing them or making them do something. You need to send them, like I said, you send them back to the manufacturer. It's a defective woman with defective thoughts and defective lifestyle. Send that woman back to the manufacturer. If you buy a new car or even a used car and you try to roll off the lot and it starts pinging and panging and the transmission's all screwed up, you send that bad boy back to the manufacturer, back to the lot. Hey, sold me a defective product. It's not your job to fix it. Come in with these high-ass price tags, all these demands, and not only is the product used, it's defective. It's one thing if it's just used. It's one thing if she's been married for 20 years and she got out of a marriage and she comes to you, she's used, but she's not defective. These chicks are not only used, but they're also defective. They're damaged beyond all belief. They've been weather beaten. They've been in train wrecks, all kinds of stuff. And they come to you like it's a brand new car. All they did was, they didn't put a fresh coat of paint on it. All they did was send it through the car wash like I'm clean. Get the F out of here. Anyhow, that's the end of my little rant. Not a long rant, just a mini rant. I just had to get that off my chest. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.